Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. We're here on Friday. We made it, everyone. Another week. We survived another week. And we're going to give you all the news you need to know about before the weekend so you don't have to worry about it. That's right. No doom scrolling over the weekend. We've got you covered. This is the first and only international game show Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where we look up our stories right before the show starts. We just got caffeine in our bodies and we're learning to read and speak live on stream. Let's get into those Friday headlines and spin that segue wheel. Today on Friday's news dump, a Turkish governor is sacked after his snug cycling outfit sparked online criticism. Meanwhile, Germany factory is producing fuel assemblies with Russians' help.
Greetings from the United States of health crisis, where parsley and cilantro are identified as potential sources of cyclospora outbreak, and 3 new measles cases in Maryland.
Up to 5 coffees a day is safe for heart health, says the AHA. What coffee type is best? Plus, in more medical news, weight loss drugs linked to loss of hair in major new study. Uh-oh. Get those wigs.
And Meta's new smart glasses, pervy new smart glasses are an invasion of privacy. Are they? Yes, they are. They probably are. And a former model is found dead who's linked as a Epstein recruiter.
In my culture news, we're going to talk about celebrity and tribute acts. How they're able to become a new person and get massive popular support in the live music scene.
Okay, let me see. National Day calendar closed. And it is National Tequila Day. I don't know about that one. Let's not do that today. It's National Drive-Thru Day, so don't get out of your car. It's wait out, burn that 40-cent gasoline. It is Friday, July 24th, 2026. I'm Before Coffee.
You're gonna go back to sleep, but we gotta do a show.
No.
That was me being the straight man. All right, let's roll our segue wheel. Roll it, spin it, whatever. The segue wheel. We need a segue. I don't make the rules. I just play them.
Right.
It's bad pun. Our first story is coming out of Turkey, in which you can lose your job for dressing what I would consider not indecently, but I guess in Turkey it is indecently. I actually have the photo of what this man looks like, so we can all, if anybody's watching this on YouTube, the video version of this podcast, you can see what the man in red is who we're talking about today was wearing during his little outing, his cycling outing. This is from Susan Fraser on The Independent. A Turkish governor found himself at the center of an unexpected political storm and was subsequently dismissed after photographs of him in a snug cycling shorts went viral. Mehmet Fatih Deselki, the governor of Ardahan province in eastern Turkey, has since become the focus of a campaign pressing for his return to office amid an outpouring of public affection. The dismissal, enacted by a presidential decree on the 17th of July and signed by President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, offered no official explanation. What a weird thing to involve the president in. Hey, a mayor was wearing cycling shorts. You need to fire him. However, it followed a widespread criticism from some Turkish politicians regarding Mr. Sesel's choice of attire during a public event promoting cycling and a subsequent social media post. Critics swiftly emerged with Inan Gun Alp, a member of the main opposition of the Republicans' People's Party, accused Mr. Siselki of prioritizing social media over his official duties, deeming the tight clothing inappropriate for a governor. How dare he tell the people in his constituency to get out there and be healthy? That has nothing to do with his job. Wait, I think public health is one of the things you do as a politician, actually. He goes around in tights, spends all day cycling with bodyguards in front of him and cycling in tights until the evening, the T24 news website quoted Mr. Alp as saying during a parliamentary debate. Is this really what we're arguing about? Do we have other things to argue about than some dude cycling? A governor cannot wander around the city and center like this. The opposition literally has nothing to complain about, so they have to make shit up into a controversy. Samil Tayyar, a former legislator from Erdogan's ruling party, which has roots in Turkey's Islamic movement, echoed these sentiments, arguing the attire clashed with cultural norms, particularly in a conservative region like Ardahan. He noted that other politicians opted for sweatpants when cycling. Some people are wearing jeans even. I think the guy who's wearing jeans should be looked into too. Wearing jeans while you're cycling for like a kilometer. People can wear whatever they want in their private lives, but a governor cannot visit the public in tights while on duty. It does not align with the seriousness of the state. The traditional social setting like Ardahan is completely unacceptable, Tayyar wrote on Twitter. Mr. Siselki, appointed by Erdogan in January, defended his choice, stating, "We will keep pedaling. I am an athlete who practices sailing, rowing and cycling. The clothes I'm wearing are sportswear." Burgeoning campaign for his reinstatement has since garnered over 10,000 signatures, with supporters highlighting the governor's efforts in Iran to promote sports, youth activities, and bicycling tourism, according to opposition-leaning Halk TV. An emotional farewell to supporters in Ardahan on Wednesday, which would have been the 22nd of July, Mr. Siselki remarked, "I believe that I have not let down those who vouched for me and stood for me throughout my journey until now. I believe that this is the greatest honor of all." As he departed Ardahan, a province bordering Armenia and Georgia, local cyclists accompanied his vehicle in a show of solidarity, Halk TV reported. Nacho Sanchez Amor, Spanish MEP and rapporteur on Turkey, voiced his support for Ms. Siselki, suggesting Mr. Alp's comments promoted the ruling party's Islamist conservative agenda, and also just picking fights with people for wearing cycling shorts. So, yeah. I just wanted to cover something of a non-story, but it's bizarre anyways. I don't know if you have any puns about cycling or bike shorts. You're muted.
Oh, man, it's sweaty in here. Luckily, there's a lot of turkey puns, so gobble, gobble. I don't know. Just another idiotic, stupid thing for fashion. Hungary and Erdogan and Turkey are the same guy. You know, they're basically fascists.
Firing you for signing a presidential decree to fire you because you wore bicycle shorts is definitely fascist.
Yeah, I can't believe this guy. I was more like, I can't believe this guy didn't want his nuts dragging on the ground while he's riding his bike. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
man. I don't know what's wrong with him. You're wearing tight bike shorts. Yeah, bike shorts are tight. That's the whole fucking point. You know, don't wear. Let me wear some boxer shorts. Yeah, let me just get third-degree ruptures on my testicles while I'm riding a bike. What the hell's wrong with these idiots?
Yeah,
I don't even know. There's no way to describe. Yeah,
just the opposition finding reasons to get someone fired. Really. All right.
Yeah.
I have another story.
Well, next, they're going to attack people for how they dress in their car, right? Oh my God! You wore a hat in the car.
It's not very governmental to. Yeah. Very interesting.
Gobble. It's a big turkey of a government. There's a properly named the United States. As if you don't know, a turkey in the United States has several meanings. One of them is, and both, if you roll 3 strikes in a row, it's a turkey, right?
Oh, okay.
But the
bowling
reason
term.
is Turkey is something that just ain't gonna work out, right? That's a turkey.
My next story is coming out of Germany and some more wacky news, I guess. Wacky news on Friday, in which in the future, fuel elements of Russian construction will be allowed to be produced in a factory in Lingen, which is in Germany. The Russian nuclear company Rosatom is indirectly involved. Greens parliamentary group leader Hasselmann calls the deal irresponsible. This is on Der Spiegel. Business with the Russian nuclear company Rosatom in the Emsland Lingen has harsh criticism. A factory in the city may in the future be allowed fuel, according to a decision of the Lower Saxony Ministry of the Environment, manufacture Russian type. The French nuclear company, Advanced Nuclear Fuels GmbH ANF, operates the factory in Lingen. It wants to produce hexagonal fuel assemblies for Russian-style nuclear power plants. For this purpose, technology of the Russian nuclear company TVEL, which belongs to the state-owned company Rosatom, is being used. So they're selling stuff to Russia so that they can continue running their power. So a French company and a German company probably is making money off of this, but they're still helping Russia have power, which is kind of counteractive to fighting against Ukraine, right?
Yeah,
Fuck
we're
their
fighting
power,
against
let them run out. Yeah.
Working both sides, just like Henry Ford.
Green parliamentary group leader Britta Hasselmann described the decision to enable Russian nuclear operations in Germany to be irresponsible despite the war in Ukraine. They make Germany and Europe dependent, blackmailable, and fill Putin's war chest. Intelligence service constantly warned that there should be no more dependence through business with Russia, Hasselmann said. We all know the risk of espionage, sabotage, and disinformation from Russia, and through its war of aggression against Ukraine, which poses a massive threat to the whole of Europe, Merz must consistently stop any cooperation in nuclear deals with Russia. It is demanded. Even the Lower Saxony Minister of Environment, Christian Mayer, who's Greens, sharply criticizes this cooperation. He considers business with the Russian nuclear company to be politically and basically wrong, as he told the news agency DPA. Dependencies on Russia should be reduced, especially in a sensitive nuclear sector. However, the country could not refuse the application under the nuclear law. The Confederation has come to the conclusion that there are insufficient risks due to possible espionage or sabotage. Lower Saxony therefore acted in the proceedings on behalf of the federal government and was bound by its assessment. The approval of Lower Saxony Ministry of Environment was granted under strict safety conditions. This includes a basic ban on access for employees of TFEL and Rosatom. Russian machines and software must therefore be externally inspected and separated from the rest of the factory's IT, as in, you can't get hacked by a Russian technical device for some reason, right? They're the network. Fuel rods delivered from Russia are to be fully controlled for manipulation. Spokesperson for the Federal Environment Ministry told Reuters that the cooperation was also viewed critically in Berlin. However, the decision on ANF's application was made by law and order. I mean, yeah, all the boxes are checked here. I don't know what to say. What about the moral reason not to do this? Yeah, but money. Okay. If all the conditions were met, a nuclear permit had to be granted. So far, there are no majority among EU member states for EU sanctions against Russian nuclear sector. Germany, therefore, continues the campaign for this. There's your story with the help of HBA, MGB, DPA, and Reuters on Germany. Oh, there's nothing that says we can't do this, so we're going to do it. It's like, what about... Associating with Russia in beginning should be a red flag for you, but they don't care. Yeah, they just don't care.
Pretty stupid. I don't understand these people. And my pun, we should not be Russian to do any deal with the Moscow's fascist regime.
Another easy pun for you.
Can't keep going back to the
All right, next segue for your stories.
Sickness and disease we have.
I get a non sequitur.
All right, let me fix my headphones right here. hair leakage. What is that called when hair just puffs out underneath your headphones and start getting in your eyes? It's irritating.
Pompadour.
Pompadour? Oh, anyhow, here's our fun little stories about health outbreak problems in the United States. Let's talk about food first, I suppose. ConsumerReports.org has a story about parsley and cilantro. And if you don't like cilantro, I guess you don't care. I'm not sure what anybody uses parsley
You've
for.
got the soap gene. People use that instead of cilantro. They think they're similar. That's what happens.
Parsley has no flavor whatsoever I can distinguish, but yeah, I guess it adds something to something. But parsley and cilantro are identified as potential sources of cyclospora outbreak in North Carolina. At a press conference on July 21st, health officials in North Carolina, which is what we're going to have to rely on, state health officials, because thanks to apartheid Clyde and brainworm Bobby, the industry themselves is the only people that are ever going to help us out. They don't give a shit. They're just worried about profits. But state health officials have jobs to do, right? And in North Carolina, which has been a surge in illnesses caused by the parasite cyclospora this summer, said some of the cases appear to be linked to parsley and cilantro. The state has reported 561 cases of cyclosporiasis since May 1st. That's nearly double the number of cases it recorded all of last year. The state officials said that lettuce may also be involved in. Let us figure it out. There's your pun. And listed alongside parsley and cilantro. They probably all grown in the same place. Let's be honest. They ain't like, well, let's source cilantro and parsley from a different place than the lettuce. No, they're not going to do that. It's so much cheaper to single source stuff. State officials said the lettuce may be also involved. However, they noted the increase in cases seen in North Carolina so far does not appear to be related to a large cluster of illnesses associated with the lettuce and Taco Bell restaurants in other states. Oh, this is a separate thing. That is not very comforting, my friends. I don't know if you think that's comforting. It's not. It means they haven't got a handle on it. That's what it means. Because there's nobody out there trying to get a handle on it. There is no federal agency doing anything about this. They're just going around going, well, what about profits? Profits are good, right? Profits? Yeah, okay. Profits. Hey, I didn't get a harump from that guy. Anyway, let's do the story. The federal health officials have linked shredded iceberg lettuce supplied by Taylor Farms, who probably, I don't know, I don't want to shut down Taylor Farms, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever, man. I would say federal investigators. Maybe state investigators in Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, West Virginia with licenses in those states. So again, you're counting on state agencies because we don't have an FDA anymore. We have rubber stampers. We have not noticed the association here, says Carl Adams, a public health official in North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. We can say that because we do a thorough investigation of all these reported cases in collaboration with our local health departments. I would kind of take North Carolina's word. I mean, North Carolina, even though they're a southern state, they do have a gigantic pig industry there. And I imagine their agriculture department has to be thoroughly invested in making sure that their pig industry doesn't collapse under the weight of its own spreading of diseases and shit, because pigs basically eat everything. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Williams, who cautioned that the findings were preliminary, no definitive sources yet identified, said the frequency with parsley, cilantro, and lettuce have appeared in investigators' ingredient level analysis of food eaten by residents prior to infection, as led officials believe that they may be implicated. The herbs appear to be among the first additional foods, aside from iceberg lettuce, said health officials have publicly linked to at least some of the thousands of cyclosporiasis cases reported in the U.S. this year. On July 22nd, the Food and Drug Administration, which nominally still exists, but it's not really a thing anymore, it's just a name, that it is investigating another outbreak of cyclosporiasis with their 5 employees they have, with at least 72 cases linked to not yet another identified project. I'm sure they're maybe they're hiring. Maybe they just went on a hiring binge and hired back all the people they fired. If they didn't just retire. If I was gonna retirement package, I'd be like, I don't know, double my salary. I'll come back. I don't know. The FDA has opened investigations into a total of 6 outbreaks of cyclosporiasis so far this summer because they can only open 6 because they only have 6 employees. That's my little add to that. With the exception of the outbreak linked to being iceberg lettuce, in 5 states, the agency has not identified this. Of course they haven't. Like I said, they're ineffective. They don't exist. There's your fun little story about North Carolina. And I guess the only real problem I have with any of this is you can wash anything you buy, but you can't get all that stuff off. And lettuce, particularly iceberg lettuce, is only served in one form, and it's raw. The same thing with cilantro. One form, raw. Nobody's going out to buy cilantro.
Cooked. You're gonna have to use that dried stuff, I guess. If you really need cilantro and you need to get the dry stuff.
Cilantro is good for about a week, and you just throw it out. If that. You got to kind of keep it growing. Once you buy it, you got to kind of keep it growing. Otherwise, it's just going to die and go rotten really quick, and it loses its flavor almost immediately. You can't dehydrate it. You ever buy dehydrated cilantro? It tastes like grass. It has no flavor. It adds nothing. I've added it to, what did I add this for? I just made it green.
I love grass, so I guess,
yeah.
What non sequitur is, I love eating dirt. I love eating grass. If I bite into a radish, that dirt flavor, I love it. If I bite into an apple, I love tasting the grassiness of the stem. I eat the apple stem. So, I'm just an absolute freak when it comes to fruits and vegetables. Yeah, give me that dirt. That's how you get your B vitamins, by the way. If you want to get your B vitamins, you got to eat some dirt. That's why broccoli has a lot of... you can't get rid of all the dirt. Dirt can't kill you. No, I'm being serious. Dirt cannot kill you.
It can kill you. I mean, it could be all kinds of pathogens living in dirt. There's nothing in dirt that's going to kill anything.
I'm just saying, I love eating dirt. Okay, your next story.
You're saying dirt is a part. All right. Maryland confirms in more other health news with our federal government's doing nothing about it except making it worse, possibly, because, hey, let's make vaccines for schools optional. Because, yes, we love dead children. Maryland confirms 3 new measles cases, warns of possible exposures. Let's figure out where these places are. It's Southern Maryland. Holy shit. What part of Southern Maryland? Oh, boy. We are probably central for Maryland. It's just, well, I don't know.
You're on the place where people maybe don't probably believe, vaccines cause autism, so I'm not really surprised. As somebody who grew up there, I'm not surprised.
If you don't know about this part of the world, Southern Maryland is a what do you want to call it? It's kind of a oxymoron. You're within 50 miles of a world capital, Washington, D.C., yet there's people here have never left the county. Never left the county, and they're not going to either. Weirdos. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of dumb people there. Maryland, and traveling, I associate world travel, any travel with intelligence. Where have you ever been in your life? Nowhere. Okay. You can read all the books you want. Doesn't matter if you never go anywhere and learn things about, hey, things are different somewhere else. So anyway, I'm off the subject. Maryland confirms 3 new measles cases, warns of possible exposures. Will Vidka, is a story from WTOP, probably a Maryland TV station, I don't know. Maryland health officials confirmed 3 new measles cases this week involving Southern Maryland residents who recently traveled to an area of the U.S. experienced an active outbreak. Okay, so it wasn't even their fault, although they should have been vaccinated themselves. The new cases bring Maryland's total to 12 this year. The state confirmed 5 cases just a week ago. The Maryland Department of Health said Wednesday that it is working to notify people who have come in contact with the 2 infected travelers. That sucks. Officials that everyone visited the following locations. Officials who, this is very important for me because we'll see if I've been to these places. Officials said anyone who's visited the following locations or the listed times may have been exposed. See, I'm taking this personally here. JR Feeds, LLC in Mechanicsville from Thursday, July 16th through Tuesday, July 21st. I did not go there. That seems like a feed store for farmers, right? Get feeds for your goats and your pigs or whatever. MedStar Health Urgent Care Of course, they said, hey, I don't feel so good. I'm going to urgent care after I contaminated everybody at the feed store. I'm going to go over 4 days later, July 20th, from 8:30 a.m. to 1:15 p.m. We're tracking these people. This is what we're doing here. And from there, where did they go from there? They went to MedStar St. Mary's Hospital emergency room. Say, hey, motherfucker, you got the measles. Get to the emergency room now. And so they sent them there on Tuesday, July 21st. Oh, no, they didn't send them there. They sent them home. So you got the measles, go home. And they woke up the next day. Or maybe they didn't tell me the measles. Either way, if you've been to St. Mary's Hospital, MedStar Urgent Healthcare in Charlotte Hall, anywhere from July 21st to July 20th, July 21st, July 20th, and it is Feed Store Mechanicsville from anywhere in July 16th to July 21st. Don't go to the emergency room and infect more people. Call public health, and they will tell you what to do, all right? I don't know what the number is. They should put it on this article, but find it. Find public health. You've been to these places and go, shit, I've been exposed to measles. I don't know if I'm vaccinated. And they'll tell you what to do. Don't go to the hospital. Do not go to the hospital. The week's third case, confirmed Thursday, may have exposed people who were in the Carroll Hospital Emergency Department waiting room in Westminster. Oh, they went to another hospital. Oh, no, that was other people. On July 21st, there's one of the people. Okay, so that's the third person. Westminster's north of Baltimore. People who are at those locations, especially those who are not fully vaccinated, should monitor for symptoms for 21 days after possible exposure. Early symptoms include a fever above 100 degrees, cough, runny nose, red watery eyes. Red rash typically appears several days later, beginning on the face and spreading across the body. Anyone who develops symptoms should avoid work, school, childcare, other public places, and contact a healthcare provider before arriving at clinic or emergency room. Measles spreads easily through the air when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or breathes, and a virus can remain airborne for up to 2 hours after the person leaves. Remember that part. So we have no word on whether this person stopped at a gas pump, for instance. They're not saying that. That could have happened. Oh, we're almost out of gas. I didn't even mention that part. And all they did, they rubbed their nose, they touched the gas pump. The next person can grab the gas pump, rub their nose, got in the cars, spread it somewhere else. That's all that had to happen. So let's keep pretending we're all safe. We have nobody in the United States watching out for us. We have to watch out for ourselves. There's your measles outbreak update for this week. Non sequiturs, as I will constantly be thinking about
if you're
stupid
sick.
People infecting me from now on for the rest of my life. Thank you very much. Oh.
Yep. I felt this way ever since like COVID, honestly. Like whenever somebody coughs near me, I'm like, why are you doing that? Get away from me.
COVID.
Don't cough near me.
Less deadly than measles, by far.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I have like PTSD. If somebody coughs near me, I'm like, oh God, head for cover now. Because of after the pandemic, or during even the pandemic, I got very paranoid about people coughing near me. Because reminder for anybody who doesn't know, I have asthma. I already have a weak immune system when it comes to breathing using my lungs. So if there's something going around that causes my lungs to not work at full capacity, I'm freaking out. Stay away from me. So yeah, I'm just saying I relate to the paranoia that people are going to get me sick because they don't have any responsibility over their own body, let alone other people's bodies, right? Let me just get everyone sick.
I love all the health professionals. There's two things they keep saying all the time. These so-called health professionals who get their degree online by watching videos, and they go, they go, herd immunity. The only way to achieve herd immunity is infect everybody. That's not what herd immunity is. Herd immunity is only achieved through vaccinations, not killing everybody with the virus. That's not herd immunity.
Something really high, like maybe like
pandemic. Yeah, that's a pandemic. That's not herd immunity. That is a pandemic that's out of control, and it's not going to stop until everybody's dead, except for the people who are immune. That's not herd immunity. That's a massive kill.
I'm trying to see if they actually give you a percentage. But I guess they don't. But I think we can go something like something as high as like 80% people are vaccinated to the disease. So even if there's 20% sick, it just doesn't spread to the whole. It doesn't create a pandemic, right? Because 80% of people are protected from it. That's herd immunity.
And I guess these are all TikTokers, or it's just going for reactions. But the
you can only get herd immunity from getting your vaccine, so you're immune. That's the whole point. Yeah, exactly.
The other people are the ones that just make suppositions about other people wearing a mask. That guy's wearing a mask. He must be afraid of getting sick. He must be a liberal that's afraid of getting sick. What a pussy. What a look. No, that guy's wearing a mask because he's sick and he's protecting you. You fucking moron. That's why he's wearing a mask. And who gives a fuck if he's wearing a mask? You're not complaining about the fucking ICE agents wearing masks. And they're doing it for nefarious reasons. Obvious nefarious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
When the hell are you trusting a cop who's not willing to show his face to you? How are you trusting that as a human being? Oh my God, what is wrong with you people? Anyway, that's my little nonsense.
I guess that's the original reason people didn't like masks, is because they didn't trust people with masks, but now suddenly it's been turned around.
I don't like masks either, but it didn't hurt me. It didn't hurt me.
I don't care about masks whatsoever, yeah.
I work. You know why I'm wearing them?
It's my job sequitur again.
My job said wearing a mask, and I said, okay, wearing a mask. I had no problem with that. It's my fucking job, you know? They don't have to give me a job. They're not required. I'm sorry, what just
non sequitur for you now. The non sequitur off.
All right.
My next story is about coffee. We talked about, I think, last week on Good Tuesday News Day about how coffee has been found to improve your brain, and now there's been a study that says you can have 5 coffees a day and it's safe for your heart. I guess max 5 coffees a day. This is from Maria Kohut, a PhD. I don't know what she has a PhD in, but this is on Medical News Daily, so hopefully she's a doctor in medical sciences. This is maybe it says on the story, like, Maria Kohut is a blah 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 blah. No, it doesn't say anything like that, so I have no idea what she has a PhD in. She could have a PhD in... Oh no, it says it's been fact-checked by Jill Siladi, who's also has a PhD. Well, I guess PhD just means doctorate, right? It doesn't actually mean...
No, PhD's a degree, man.
I just want to make sure she's a doctor, or not, but it doesn't say. And when I click read more, it just sends me to a 4 page. No, she's not real. Anyways, we're just going to trust that Medical News Today, which is considered highly factual, is using doctors to report on its stories. On July 20th, 2026, the American Heart Association suggests that as many 5 cups of caffeinated coffee per day are safe for most people and are not associated with adverse cardiovascular events. They published a new scientific statement outlining the complexities of the relationship between coffee consumption and heart health in its flagship journal, Circulation Trusted Source. So if you want to read the whole study, check out Circulation Trusted Source. The statement reviews and summarizes the cumulative evidence from recent research on coffee and heart health and issues updated guidelines for safe coffee consumption. According to the evidence cited in the statement, drinking up to 5 cups of caffeinated coffee per day, which amounts up to 400 milligrams per day. So make sure you check how much coffee you're drinking, or how much caffeine, I should say, you're drinking, is generally safe for healthy adults and even may bring certain cardiovascular benefits. Among commonly commercialized coffees, a regular brewed non-specialty caffeinated coffee contains between 9.4 to 20.6 megagram per fluid ounce, and a latte between 9.3 and 11.9 megagrams per fluid ounce of caffeine, the AHA statement notes. The statement also emphasizes that not all coffees are made equal when it comes to their effect on heart health, and that coffee type and their extent of daily coffee consumption can lead to very different outcomes when it comes to blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and heart disease risk. So, Medical News Today spoke with 2 nutrition experts, Michelle Rosenstein, MSRD, CD, SES, CDN, preventative cardiology dietitian, and at Entirely Nourished, and Claire Cohen, DIP, CNM, MBNT, RCNHSC, Net Nutritional Therapist, and Net Nutritional Therapy. All those things are titles, which means they went to school and actually got degrees in what they're talking about, in case there's people out there who don't know what an MSRD, CD, CES, CDN is. I couldn't tell you what they are myself, but you definitely have to go to school, probably for 8 years, to get most of those. To better understand the implication of the AHA statement's findings, traditionally, the folk wisdom has had it that more coffee a person drinks, the more they are likely to experience high blood pressure or hypertension. However, the real-world evidence tells a more complicated story. According to the recent studies reviewed by AHA, for people with normal blood pressure, drinking a lower amount of coffee amounting to 1 to 3 cups per day may result in a heightened risk of hypertension. So if you already have if you have normal blood pressure, not drinking enough coffee can cause hypertension. At the same time, healthy individuals drinking more than 3 cups of caffeinated coffee per day appear to have a lower risk of hypertension. It again appear, right, because this is a study that they did. On first sight, this is a surprising takeaway, as we may instinctively associate more caffeinated coffee consumption with a higher risk of hypertension. Cohen, though, offered a straightforward explanation for the inverse association. Regular coffee drinkers may develop a degree of tolerance to caffeine short-term blood pressure raising effects, while those who experience adverse effects may naturally reduce their intake, creating what's known as reverse causation. So, because you don't build up your immunity to the caffeine because you don't drink enough coffee, you actually every time you drink coffee, your body goes, "What the hell?" And then you get hypertension, is what they're saying. Your body goes, "What is this?" And panics. I guess I need to drink more coffee because that makes sense to me. If I drink 1 cup of coffee, I feel really weird. Anyways, the AHA statement noted a similar complex relationship between caffeinated coffee consumption and heart rhythm changes. Oh, yeah, I definitely have heart rhythm changes when I drink only 1 cup of coffee. Based on self-reported data from participants in recent studies, drinking 1 to 3 cups of caffeinated coffee per day did, bless you, 1 to 3 cups of caffeinated coffee per day did not appear to lead to an increased risk of arterial fibrillation, AFib, or other heart rhythm problems. At the same time, however, AHA statement notes that some randomized controlled trials found an association between caffeine consumption, even when ingested in beverages in amounts commonly consumed in general population, and an increase in premature ventricular contractions, PVCs, a type of arrhythmia which occurs when the heartbeat begins to lower rate in the lower heart chambers rather than the upper ones. So instead of your heart rate going bump, 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 it goes bump, bump, like down, up, instead of up, down, because you're supposed to be pumping your blood down, and it starts pumping your blood up. in a way, not like literally like that, but PVCs can cause various complications, including enlargement of that left heart ventricle, because it is a muscle, so if it gets used more, it gets larger, which can in turn cause more severe issues such as heart failure. Alright, both caffeinated and decaffeinated coffee consumed in unfiltered versions, for example in the form of espresso, French press, or Turkish style coffee, was associated with higher levels of cholesterol. By contrast, filtered coffee and instant coffee was not associated with higher cholesterol, and this, the AHA experts explained, likely because the lack of caffeine, a natural compound from coffee beans, which tends to be eliminated through the filtering process. So I guess if you want high cholesterol, make sure you drink instant coffee or filtered coffee. On the other hand, regular consumption of black caffeinated coffee was linked with lower type 2 diabetes risk, as long as you don't put 4 scoops of sugar in it like I did today. And the AHA cites, among with other evidence, a review of 28 prospective cohort studies, which found an association between daily consumption of 3.5 to 5 cups of coffee and a 20% to 30% reduction in type 2 diabetes risks. However, the experts emphasize that lower diabetes risk may not be thanks to caffeine, but the other natural compounds found in coffee. They also warn that energy shots are likely to have the opposite effect of regular coffee and are much more likely to harm your cardiovascular and metabolic health. Yeah, drinking 5-hour energy 3 times is not going to help your heart, so don't get
more
confused
is not
there.
Better. More does not equal better.
We're specifically talking about caffeine, so not talking about caffeinated soft drinks or energy drinks, which coffee is a more complex beverage rich in antioxidants and polyphenols and other plant compounds that may reduce inflammation, improve endothelial function, and support metabolic health, which caffeinated soft drinks and energy drinks do not do, right? So what Cohen is trying to explain is that coffee is a more balanced drink in that way, right? It's a bit more balanced. It doesn't contain a large amount of added sugar or artificial ingredients, which contribute to obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. Finally, Cohen reminded everyone that coffee is just one small piece of health puzzle. Rather than focusing on coffee alone, it's important to view it with the context of an overall heart healthy lifestyle that includes a balanced diet, regular exercise, adequate sleep, and not smoking, she advised. Yes, I hear smoking and drinking coffee is actually a bad combo. Even though a lot of people do it, it's actually a really bad combo for your health. So there's my story on you can drink 5 cups of coffee as long as it's, I guess, filtered and
Yes, sir.
instant coffee. That's the healthiest type of coffee you can drink. And if you don't drink a lot of coffee, like I don't, I only drink coffee 3 times a week. I guess you need to drink more. You can, instead of less. Because every time you drink coffee, you're causing your heart to go, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, don't drink. Yeah, moderation is the key of everything, right? Not too much of anything. You can't drink too much water, for instance. Too much oxygen, even too much oxygen to your brain was too much, right? And my non sequitur, are you ready?
Let's go for
I have
it.
a list. I guess we could call it my Saturday 16. I'll go through it real quick. 16 other uses for coffee. Right? Ready?
Okay, go for it.
This is from Healthline. Used coffee grounds after you're done with your coffee. Number 1, fertilize your garden. Number 2, you can hit. Do you have a little bell you can hit that you already do this? Ding. I'll just
No,
say
I don't.
fertilize your garden. I already do this. 1, fertilize your garden. Ding. I already do it. Okay, there we go. Number 2, compost it for later. Ding. Number 3, repel insects and pests. Ding. That's good. I'm already putting in my garden, right? To do that, right? Remove fleas from your pet. I did not know that. Okay. Number 5, neutralize odors. Coffee grounds. Drug smugglers know that. Use it as a natural cleaning scrub. Yeah, you can remove the dead skin off your feet, right? And your pots and pans. That's number 7. Exfoliate your skin. Oh, that was number 8 is exfoliate your skin. Natural cleaning scrub. Oh yeah, just remove buildup of hard to clean surfaces. Yeah, use it to scrub your countertops. Exfoliate your skin. Number 8. Number 9, reduce the appearance of cellulite. Yes, wow. Number 10, use it as a natural dye. If you were to spill coffee in a white shirt, you know it's a natural dye. Of course, it comes out. Number 11, clean your fireplace. Holy smokes, clean the ashes, wood-burning fireplace. Messy test, scattering coffee grounds over the ashes. You can weigh them down and prevent smoke clouds from forming. Holy smokes, this is good. Number 12, tenderize meat. Meat contains muscle fibers. Tenderizing meats help break down its fibers. Using coffee grounds, a dry rub. There you go. And 13, stimulate hair growth. Rub it on your stinking head. Repair scratch furniture is number 14. Number 15 is grow mushrooms. Hell yeah. And number 16 is to treat under eye circles. Yes. Put them under your eyes. Add water and coconut oil to your coffee grounds before a paste. Apply a mixture under your eyes. Let it soak for 10 minutes before rinsing. And there you go.
Okay, so I'm taking a bath in coffee, scrubbing my feet with coffee, and putting it under my eyelids. And rubbing it in my hair, don't forget.
In our show, it's in our show title, so you know we love it. Loving the coffee. What I've been doing now recently is this: my coffee ground, they just dump in this big pitcher right now. I was just dumping it in a pot downstairs, but since I've been rebuilding a deck, it's become harder to do. So I just put them in. And what I will do is later, when I got a bigger thing of coffee grounds, I will just pour them on my raised bed gardens. And like I said, it's a fertilizer. It has all kinds of nutrients and it repels a lot of insects. It's just nature's wonder drug, I would say.
Yeah, we love a wonder drug. All right. Okay, my next story is more medical news. I mispronounced somebody's name because I couldn't say.
Oh, Christ, I thought that was your last story.
Yeah. I couldn't say what was it? Fibromyalgia or whatever. I can't even remember what it was. AFib. I can say AFib. I can say AFib, like the full thing. I'm not even gonna try to say it again. All right, my next story is more medical news. We've got weight loss drugs linking to loss of hair, so I guess you better start rubbing those coffee grounds into your hair now if you're taking any of those weight loss drugs. This is from Jane Kirby on The Independent. Weight loss drugs have been linked to hair loss, a new study has claimed. People on the GLP-1 agonist drugs such as Mounjaro, Ozempic, and Wegovy have been reporting hair loss to regulators. A new study on around 50,000 people appears to support the link. Yeah, see, this is why you don't follow drug trends as soon as they happen, because they haven't done full studies on them. They're just like, oh, we just use this we just tested this for diabetes. And then you're not using it for diabetes and using it for weight loss, which means you're probably not using the correct amount of drug for what it's actually designed for, and then you're overdosing your body on it, and then your hair falls out. At least that's what I'm assuming is happening. I'm not a doctor. GLP-1s are primarily used to treat diabetes and obesity by mimicking hormones to regulate blood sugar and reduce appetite. Experts use data to compare rates of alopecia hair loss in adults using GLP-1s to manage diabetes with those on other drugs. The team from the University of Pennsylvania Health System noted that regulators in the U.S. have been informed of the link between drugs and hair loss, particularly for semaglutide, Wegovy, and Ozempic, and tirzepatide, Mounjaro. So far in 2026, the UK Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, MHRA, has received 399 reports of hair loss relating to tirzepatide alongside 541 last year. So the UK also knows about this. It has also received 148 reports of hair loss linked to semaglutide alongside 164 reports last year. For the new study, the team looked at people with type 2 diabetes on GLP-1 receptors, agonists, or other types of diabetes drugs known as SGLT2 inhibitors or DPP-4 inhibitors. In total, 12,004 patients using GLP-1s were compared with 15,221 using SGLT2 inhibitors, and a further 11,964 GLP-1 users were compared with 11,233 DPP-4 inhibitor users. So it's just a bunch of people taking different drugs for diabetes and seeing what the difference is after adjusting for factors that could influence the results, such as age and weight. So any outliers who are like, oh yeah, I'm 62, you're probably going to have hair loss. Sorry, that's just what happens to a lot of people when you get old. So those are considered outliers. They cut them out of the graph, right? They cut them out of the graph. Oh, why does this person lose hair? Well, he is 62. Researchers found that using GLP-1 drugs were associated with a 37% higher risk of alopecia than the use of the SGLT2 inhibitors. GLPs were also linked with a 68% higher risk of hair loss than using the DPP-4 inhibitors. So GLPs are worse than both the DPP-4s and the SGLT2s. Further analysis suggests a link related to non-scarring alopecia, where hair follicles remain intact, leaving the potential here for regrowth. The researchers included the University of Pennsylvania in US, wrote in the British Medical Journal BMJ. So if you want to read the whole study, it's in the British Medical Journal, BMJ. Case reports and analysis of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA's event reporting system, have described the occurrence of hair loss following initiation of a GLP-1 receptor agonist, particularly semaglutide, Wegovy, and Ozempic, and tirzepatide, Mounjaro. On the reasons why people may suffer hair loss while on the drugs, the team said most likely mechanism related to weight loss and reduced caloric intake. Ah, yes. Did you know you have to eat to run your body? And then if you don't eat, your body goes, oh, I guess you don't need hair anymore. So that's literally it. People aren't eating enough, which is why all these people on Ozempic and Wegovy and what was the other again? Mounjaro are looking like skeletons because they're not eating and they're not getting enough of their daily intake of nutrients, and their hair is going, bye. You don't need me anymore. We need we're wasting energy growing hair. We need more energy. So I'm going to stop doing that. For example, GLP-1 receptor agonists have been associated with changes in thyroid function, and delayed gastric emptying may alter the absorption of daily administered drugs, including thyroid hormone or sex hormone therapies, they said. The team concluded our findings extended previous anecdotal safety signals and provided more systematic evidence to inform clinical awareness of potential adverse effects. On the 22nd of July, it was revealed the drug had also been linked to a fallen number of people who are dependent on alcohol being admitted to the hospital. That suggests the medication can help curb alcohol consumption. Well, if you don't have an appetite for anything, it makes sense. However, researchers in the U.S. said the evidence remains limited and mixed, so they're going to have to do a study on that too. So I guess that's your trade-off, right? It's just like a monkeypox scenario here, right? I want to be a skinny bitch. Okay, but you're gonna lose your hair. I'm just saying, right? That's your trade-off. I don't want to be alcohol dependent. Okay, but you're gonna lose your hair. Sorry, that's a trade-off you make. Start buying wigs. All that money you're saving on not buying food, I guess you can buy a wig. I'm only making fun of this because I do not support eating disorder, and I do see Ozempic as just a eating disorder reinforcer, right? Oh great, I have an eating disorder. Let me take this drug so I can continue having an eating disorder. Yeah, we need more people to have a healthy relationship with food instead of seeing it as a crime, right? Food is gonna hurt me. You need to eat food to live, people. Just eat it. Stop thinking it's a victim or a villain in your life. Food is not a villain. It's immoral. It doesn't have a morality. It's just there to be eaten. That's all. Anyways, I'm not going to go on a longer tangent than I already have. Give me your non sequitur.
I'm constantly horrified by celebrities' massive weight loss, and it's always that big word of, and it's like, you look like shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, you look like a hollowed out former other person that used to be that person. Like, you lost way too much weight. Is that healthy? Is that healthy? Anyway, my non sequitur is hair loss. My non sequitur is hair loss. Just rub some coffee grounds on your head. Jeez, what's wrong with you? Forget this other shit. You already solved hair loss. You already solved it. Anyway, let's take the video.
All right, thank you for your non sequiturs. I forgot to cheer the other one.
All right, let's start. It's Proving Friday. Friday. We get Proving Friday. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but
I always call it Feral Friday. People get so excited they get feral, you know.
We got 2 stories about pervs and the potential perviness of pervs.
Yeah, so feral pervs are on the lookout.
You got a alliteration headline to be a great one, right? The potential perviness of pervs.
All right, my turn to give you some bad puns. Take it away.
Bad pun. Bad pun about Meta glasses. Meta is Mark Zuckerberg, that who is actually a clone of the Nazi regime. They cloned him and programmed him to take over the world. To help them take over the world. And one part of his plan is to invade your privacy as much as possible. BBC.com. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg's no accident. Smart glasses are an invasion of privacy. Metas are selling better than ever, of course, because, nothing sells like perviness. Believe me, as a kid, every comic book I ever had or anything, they had the ads on the back. X-ray glasses! These you can see through clothes. And you go, oh boy, let me order that. I'm an idiot. And then people would order it, and it's like nothing like that. Anyway, it's just stupid. It was stupid. It's a stupid idea, but these are legitimately invasive. Smart glasses are an invasion of privacy, says Collie Hayes from BBC.com. Issues with the new wave of smart glasses seem to be piling up. Some of the biggest technology companies in the world are poised to sell many millions of pairs in the coming years. Women leaving the beach, going into a shop, or simply standing outside are now being approached by men, usually wearing Meta's Ray-Bans, the company's smart or AI glasses, often in order to film the women's responsible to casual questions or pick up lines without their knowledge or consent. Women only find out about the videos of them after they gain traction and often abuse online. So they're not seeing through clothes. They're just filming people without their consent. They have little legal recourse, as photography in public is broadly considered legal. One woman told the BBC that when she asked the person who posted the secret recording of her to remove it, she was told that doing so was a paid service. Meta's glasses are currently the most popular on the market, estimated to make about 80% of all AI or smart glasses sales, as the company was the first major tech player to launch such a product in several recent years. You know what you do with these? You grab them off their head and you snap them. That's what you do with them. That's what you did. Sue me. You got in my face and you were filming me without my permission. So I broke your glasses. Take me to court. Made in partnership with SC Lorluxotaka. Great name. Nobody can pronounce it, but great name. And offering the classic look of Ray-Bans. How did they get away with using Ray-Bans? That's an actual company. The glasses feature an almost invisible camera on the frame, small speakers in the arms, and the latest version of lenses that can show you where some information. People can start recording video, take a photo with a casual touch of the frames, and make sure the camera in Meta's glasses can be so unobtrusive that even the wearers have been caught up guard by what and when they're recording and where those recordings are going. Yeah, you're recording yourself taking a piss. Congratulations, moron. That would just be just wrong. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Just stop it. Mm-hmm. These things are just an invitation to get punched in the face. After workers in Kenya tasked with watching videos made through Meta's glasses to create AI training data for the company said they were being required to watch graphic content like sex and bathroom usage, people who owned the glasses filed 2 lawsuits. And one, people said they had no idea such videos had been made, and the other, they said they didn't know their videos are being shared by the company for reviews. Here you are. Like I said, here I am, an owner of the glasses, totally innocent, think I want to try this super freaking technology. I'm not even the guy pointing these in other people's faces. I'm a bird watcher. I go into the bushes. I just got them filming a rare spotted transvestite owl in its full glory, dresses in high heels, or whatever. And forgets to turn off his camera. And now he's taking a leak in nature, spraying it all over the tree. And here's somebody in Kenya going, hey, check it out. Check this guy out, Yeah, invasion of privacy a little bit. Mm-hmm. Let's stop Meta in their tracks. They are Nazis. They're going to be marching through your neighborhood, arresting you for shit that your neighbors filmed you doing. That you had no idea you were being filmed. Yes. So, again, obtrusive cameras everywhere. Let's get rid of them. You see somebody wearing these glasses, I guess you can't stop progress, but by golly, we can try. Let's have us a pun about.
My God, we can try.
Mark Zuckerberg, the human scum. Let's have us a.
He's not human though, right? That's our whole meme about for years. He's a lizard. He's only a lizard man.
He was blown by Mengele. Okay, Mengele was a doctor in the Nazi Germany, and he was investigating how to clone humans. Right? We know how to clone humans now. What's to say he hadn't solved it back then? That's all I'm saying. And there's a movie called Boys from Brazil, which says he did that. He cloned Hitler all over the world. Anyway, it's not my conspiracy. It's the Boys from Brazil conspiracy. Okay, go ahead. All right.
I think having these Meta glasses is a selfie-ish option.
Oh, I'm sorry,
like
it was a pun. I'm so slow. I'm so caught up in
my... If I find out I've been captured by a Meta glasses, I think it's going to make my heart shudder.
Ow!
I got a bunch of camera puns.
Ow. If this was old-timey photography, we could wait for further developments, right?
A lot of people are really candidly living their best life.
Ow! That's my Stephen Hawking laugh, by the way. Yow! That's my Stephen Hawking. Maybe we can put that on the recording.
All right.
All right, one more story.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, one more pervy story. Not the end of the pervies. We got more pervies. This former model scout linked to Jeffrey Epstein found dead in his Paris home. Hell of a coinky-dinky. There are no coinky-dinkies. Are there coinky-dinkies? I don't know. CBSNews.com, which we kind of sort of still has reporters somewhere. Lee I. Kinnery has the story. A model scout accused of rape and trafficking with links to the late American sex offender Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his Paris home on Monday. Daniel Siad, was under investigation by Paris prosecutors for accusations of rape and organized human trafficking. I think rich people only exist for this reason. That's what I'm saying. Rich people, this is what they get into. You get so much money that you go, you know what? Here's what we can get into. Trafficking children.
Torturing human beings, yeah.
Right, yeah. Too much power. Power is always bad. The criminal investigation in Siad was launched based on complaints from women who came forward after his name appeared in nearly 2,000 times in the SD files, which is a fraction of the times Trump's name appears in the Epstein file. Siad, 69, had denied all the accusations. An autopsy report has not been issued to confirm his cause of death, but his lawyer said he died of a heart attack. It may have been due to stress caused by the ongoing investigation. That's a big shit. Daniel Siad never stopped proclaiming his innocence, he said, attorney Arab Tagrini. If he died of a heart attack, it's unbearable weight. Yep. The opprobrium cast upon him. Oh, there's another word. Opprobrium. Look that one up. Get your thesaurus out. And by extension, on those close to him, the pressure and anguish which he lived daily will place a part. The poor guy. Oh, part of my heart. His poor little 69-year-old heart couldn't take it no more. She had recruited models for a leading French modeling agent. Guy, I don't want to necessarily paint people with a broad brush, but he looks like a absolute asshole.
Somebody who would only get attention because they have money. That's what they look like, you know? It's sadly the case.
Yeah, I guess maybe they're intentionally trying to pose this kind of guy by putting him in a picture with a big old stogie in one hand, a big old glass of some imported hooch in the other hand. Siad recruited models for leading French modeling agents Jean-Luc Brunel, who was a close associate of Epstein, and of course another pile of shit, who denied charges of rape and human trafficking, was found hanged in a prison cell in 2022 while he was awaiting trial.
For somebody who looked like him, right? Our conspiracy is that he's not,
Have we decided that was a suicide? It just says he was found hanged, and there was no determination of a suicide. It doesn't say the suicide. It does not say suicide. Let's not say that. Just saying. The Paris prosecutor's office said his investigation of sex trafficking linked to Epstein, who did not commit suicide, obviously. Nobody believes that. Absolutely nobody. You ask, there's things that people agree on, right? The sun is hot, water's wet, and Epstein didn't kill himself. Launched in February, the Paris prosecutor's office said its investigation of sex trafficking linked to Epstein launched in February amid revelations of the documents released by U.S. authorities and continuing in order to identify all individuals likely to be implicated, notwithstanding a termination of public prosecution concerning him. So I don't think this guy probably committed suicide, although it's possible. We know people will cover it up, and if you're well connected and you got intel, don't forget Epstein was an agent, at least probably a double agent, maybe even a triple agent, blackmailing people so he could get them to become spies. That's how espionage works, my friends. I don't know if anybody's just totally clueless about espionage, but espionage is not just bang, bang, shoot, shoot, bang, bang, shoot, shoot. There's some shoot, shoot, but it's usually a camera and it's hidden in the corner of a motel room that you mysteriously got put into, right? Well, you know what? We only got one room in this hotel we can put you in, and it's that one way at the end. You know, and they put you in there and you got a prostitute and there's cameras everywhere. Next thing you know, you're being blackmailed by Mossad. That's Jeffrey Epstein. That's how spying works, folks. So yeah, again, I don't know, there's probably hundreds of people out there watching right now that had security clearances that they tell you this shit right now, right off. If a girl comes up to you in a bar out of nowhere and starts talking to you, and you have a security clearance, that's a spy. I'm just telling you, it's a spy. You aren't that attractive, dude. You look like shit. You all that cologne you got on is too much. That's a spy. Girls don't like you. You're a spy. That's kind of what they reinforce. Girls do not like you. That's a spy. Anyway, there's your. What did I say? And it doesn't even have to be major. It could just be, oh, yeah, you're happily married, and we got this on video. I guess your wife and billions of dollars you're married into aren't going to like this. It's very easy to blackmail people. It doesn't have to be children. It can just be simple, one night stand with a hooker, Or you could be like Lindsey Graham. Let's have us a pun about Jeffrey Epstein's horrible life of debauchery.
Sadly, I don't have any puns on that, but you did say that he was a model scout, so I have model puns.
Okay.
Model behavior, more like model mischief. A little bit more than mischief.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yes, and it doesn't have to be minor.
To walk, forced to work. A lot of these models really did get a walk to remember.
Yeah, it does not have to be minors to be human trafficking. It can be full-grown adults, and it's basically, it's prostitution. You know what? You owe me a lot of money, and all you got to do is sleep with this old guy. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Coercion, I believe, is what they call it. Coercion is still illegal. It's harder to prove, but it's still illegal. Coercion is illegal.
Guess what? Your wife got half your debt. Now let's work on the other half.
And that's why, that's why people get in trouble for sleeping with the people that work under them, because it could be considered coercion, right? Oh, if I don't sleep with this guy, he's going to fire me. And that's why it's immoral to never date anyone you work with. I don't care who they are. Never. Because you don't know. You don't know if you're coercing them. That you don't know how they feel. Just because you're not doing the coercion doesn't mean they don't feel coerced, right? It's something only the victim can feel. It's not something you do to others. So if you don't want to get in jail for whatever, just don't date your coworkers ever for any reason.
The first day.
Quit your job first,
I have not
okay?
been to espionage school. Okay, go ahead.
No, that's it. Sorry. You can say what you're going to say.
I haven't been to espionage school, but I'm sure one of the lessons they teach you is all about human weakness. Like, oh yeah, there's human weakness.
Human engineering
human
is what
weakness
it's called.
just doesn't. This guy's got a gambling problem. This guy likes to play the horses. This guy drinks too much. This guy likes whatever.
This guy has a wife that is not very happy, so let's make the wife even less unhappy.
Right. It could be any
family members
espionage
can be
works.
used.
If you can think of 1,000 ways espionage works, right? The spies have already thought of 1,001 more than you have thought of. So you're not ahead of them. That's all they think about. That's their entire shtick. That's it. It's like blackmailing people is the easiest way to coerce them. All right. Violence don't work. Threats don't work. But blackmail. Oh boy. Your reputation is that one thing. It's that one thing.
Also, hello, Eric. Thank you for your Transbright Acorn. And here, our next segue is associate. So associate my culture news with anything.
Oh, yes.
We've been getting all the easy segues today. My story is coming out of the Venice. Oh, no, not Venice. Sorry, that's wrong. We talked about Amy Winehouse yesterday because it was the anniversary of her death. And we're going to talk about other famous imposters. Or what are they called?
Imposters?
Imitators.
Doppelgangers?
Imitators. Celebrity imitators who get it down so good that people think Amy Winehouse, for example, has come back to life. This is from Daniel Dillon Ray on The Guardian. Versions of Amy Winehouse and hundreds of other musicians are generating millions for beleaguered UK venues. But what is the emotional toll for the imitators, and are they pushing out original artists? As peak heatwave sun beams down on a field in Derbyshire, Amy Winehouse tells the crowd she's in need of hydration, so Robbie Williams fetches her a drink. Elsewhere, members of the public stop the Beastie Boys for selfies. Fred Durst grooves along as Diana Ross covers Al Green, and shirtless teenagers form a circle pit during Korn as a woman sits knitting in a camping chair just behind them. James Brown and Prince turn out to be the same artist, just dressed up in different clothes. These are all scenes from the Replica Festival last month, which won the Guinness World Record for the biggest tribute festival with 108 acts performing across a very sweaty weekend. The punning deserves an accolade of its own. Acts including Catfishing the Bottlemen, Pearl Scam, Wrong Jovi, and Iffy Clyro all were appearing in this festival. It's far from the only event of its kind. The UK inundated this summer with Fake Fest, Tribe Fest, Glaston Budget, Fest Witch, Tidal Gathering, Could Be Real, and numerous other festivals. Similarly, music venues across the country have listing crammed with tribute acts. Dave Bevan, managing director of Alvey Network Entertainment Agency, which represents 234 such acts, estimates there are between 3,000 to 5,000 outfits in operation in the UK. The reason so many of these events and gigs are thriving is because going to see the original artist is often prohibitively expensive, especially during a cost of living crisis. While these gigs offer cheap access to live music with songs you are guaranteed to know and love, Replica charges $100 for a weekend ticket. Its organizer, James Dean, says, "Our festival is targeted at the low to middle income families." Yeah, that's right. Who have been very low disposable income. Compare that with the cost of going to Wembley Stadium for a single concert. That is echoed by one group of young lads spoke to at the festival. It's cheap, local, and a laugh. Dan Budd, who has performed as Robbie Williams, and he does look a lot like Robbie Williams in this picture, for the last 14 years, is disarmingly good on stage, full of the requisite swagger and cheekiness. Plus, he has the same Stoke accent, and he even has matching real tattoos. He went so far as to get the actual tattoos that Robbie Williams has, in the places he has them. He's a dedicated imitator. "I don't think I've been busier in terms of bookings," he says. "I have got a free Saturday night until September 2027. Dean tells that the very top acts in the game will pull 10,000 to 15,000 a show. Bud won't give any specific figures, but says, "Put it this way, I'm 36 and mortgage free." Similarly, Nadine L'Amour, who performs as Amy Winehouse under the name Madness of Amy, is flying. She set foot on stage as Winehouse for the first time in December of 24, but by April 25, she had quit her job as a secondary school teacher to do it full time. Like Bud, L'Amour has replicated Winehouse's tattoos, though she is such a fan that they were done years before she got into the tribute game. "There are 14 and 15-year-old girls singing every single word," she says at her shows. "I have young people saying I'm never going to see Amy, but watching her on stage, it feels like that's the closest thing I'll ever get." It's not just individuals such as L'Amour and Bud who are benefiting. According to charity music venue Trust, MVT, at a time when half the UK's grassroots music venues make no profit, tribute artists are helping to keep an entire sector afloat. "There's an elitist attitude about them, but these acts really do keep parts of the live music infrastructure moving," said Nathan Clark, owner of the Brudenell Social Club in Leeds, one of the most well-respected and thoughtfully curated independent music venues in the country. Despite its buzzy reputation for cutting-edge newcomers and international indie stars, tribute bands play a significant role there. "Not every gig has to go about discovering the future," he says. "The key is balance. Tribute bands help support original music, not replace it." There's no hard data on the precise financial impact of tribute acts. MVT's chief executive, Mark David, guesses that they make up about 25 to 30% of all bookings in independent venues across the UK. Dean had an independent survey carried out at his own festival's economic impact over the last 10 years, including associated local spending on travel, hotels and supermarkets and so on, and it came out to be about £8.5 million. Given the number of touring tribute bands, festival gigs, and events, he estimates a number could stretch into hundreds of millions of pounds overall across the same 10-year span. For the whole country, they mean. One reason for the huge sector is being overlooked is undocumented, and because it's often seen as a bit feeble or aggressive. People, especially in the mainstream music industry, look at us as non-starters, says Dean. We're not really taken seriously. But tribute acts are no longer just dodgy Elvis impersonators with wayward pitch. We've had a couple of Take That tributes who were able to sing a lot better than Robbie Williams and Gary Barlow, said Dean. Clark points out that Graham Sampson of the Smiths, a Smiths tribute band, spelled with a Y instead of an I, can probably hold a note better than Morrissey. Such skill and dedication in mirroring others can bring with it emotional toll. Obviously, because people don't ever treat you like you, right? You're always playing another character. L'Amour says that while some people, such as Replica's Prince James Brown combo, moonlight in numerous tribute acts, she can only ever do Winehouse because of the significance of the material. This is more than sticking eyeliner back coming the beehive. I'm putting on really expensive, uncomfortable shoes, he says. It's a feeling, that gut-wrenching first love that kicks you in the stomach. Having your heart broken beyond repair, but then being able to pull that out to the audience and feeling the love come back, way more than a tribute for me. Tribute acts also have a domino impact on other artists in the industry. It may not always be treated as a cultural prestigious, but it creates employment, Clark says. It drives playing musicians, designers, promoters, and venues. He points to the Smiths, the tribute band, not the original, having a 4-night run coming up at his venue. What original bands at the grassroots levels can do 4 nights and sell them out, he asks. Very few. Those 4 shows allow us to take the risk of booking something else that maybe it's not as popular. What's clear is that the Replica Festival is that for a while for many, these bands are vehicles for pure nostalgia, comfort, and familiarity. Big Oasis choruses, indelible Beatles hooks, and sugary 2000 pops. They also are a first gateway to music. It is genuinely endearing watching battle jacket-clad children navigating their first mosh pit and working out the rhythms and etiquette as a think Limp Bizkit turns a sizable tent into an explosion of bouncing bodies. And it's a dream come true for band members too, who seem blown away by the response of all these young people showing up. The turntablist shouts to his parents in the audience, his adrenaline clearly pumping as he declares, "They keep telling me to get a real job, but look at me now." Yeah. There you go. And that is the free market for you, I guess, if you're a free market enjoyer. Right, there you go.
I don't think the original artists, the original songwriters don't care those things if their songs only get checks, right?
And also, yet again, right, a lot of these original artists are dead. Right, and there's people discovering their music and going, I will never be able to see them live. I've missed out on that. So they are capitalizing on that.
You're talking about doppelgangers or sound-alikes, right? Which one is there?
It's imposters. It's just imposters, like impersonators. You know?
So I associate, that's how I started because I kind of did want to watch this band. I'm kind of excited now because I looked up the Australian Pink Floyd, which is, I've seen their videos, are really good. Mm-hmm. I would rather see them than what they recently tried passing off as Pink Floyd, which was, you know, David Gilmour and a bunch of guys, right? That wasn't Pink Floyd. Their only tie to Pink Floyd is that guy that plays guitar, and the guy in Australian Pink Floyd plays the same notes. It isn't like it's some mysterious little thing that you can't figure out. I mean, Australian Pink Floyd is playing up here in Baltimore on August 30th. So, hello, I might go to that. September 13th, they're in the U.S. They're on a U.S. tour right now.
Speaking of Pink Floyd, I actually have a sound effect for that. Money sound.
Nice. There you go. Cha-ching!
And that, I mean, that is what they're making, right? They're making money.
Yeah, and I found them on StubHub. They're reasonably priced for a rock concert. I think that would probably go. Tonight, Australian Pink Floyd, if you're in Clearwater, Florida, they're playing tonight in Ruth Eckerd Hall. Tomorrow's show is sold out in Atlanta. So,
wow, really popular in Atlanta.
But it's at Wild
I think if you're going to revive your band, with none of the members, you should just join one of these cover bands instead. You should just be like, let me find the best cover band for my band and say, hey, can I join?
You know, Leonard Skinner was killed in a plane crash. That didn't stop them from touring for the last 40 years. Been touring. Leonard Skinner, none of the original members have been touring until recently. The Beach Boys are still touring. Hello? Hey, nothing left of the Beach Boys. They're still touring. They call themselves the Beach Boys. They're not fucking Beach Boys. They're not the fucking Beach Boys. There's just some guys that anonymous. Well, Mike Love might be in the band, or Al Jardine, or only two living. Yeah. Who wants to see Mike Love? Fuck that guy. There's my association. It's like, I'm going to go see Australian Pink Floyd.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds a good plan. Maybe. All right, let's go into this day in history with our final segue. You can see for the
$50, by the way. You get pretty good seats. I think that Atlanta show is at a theme park, so it's not like some big venue. So it's not like some, you know.
All right, the wheel is just repeating today, so I'll associate this day in history with something. Take it away.
Here's day in history on this day. What happened as I pulled the train into the station? Hopefully, let's see what we got here. all the way back to, oh shit, this was a bad day in history. Tomorrow, if we want to go back 61 years, tomorrow in history is the day when Dylan showed up at Newport Folk Festival and played Maggie's Farm and pissed off a bunch of folkies. That was pretty important. I think that's pretty cool. Pissed off the guys. He plugged in an amplifier. My feelings are hurt. Anyway, that's so funny. Call that out, man. I love it. I love people that just got the tender little feelings about, he can make whatever music he wants, right? Idiots. How do you get offended by somebody plugging in an amplifier? I don't get it. Anyway, other things in this day in history, Mary, Queen of Scots, was formally deposed after rebellious Scottish nobles deserted her army at Carberry Hill and forced her to abdicate in favor of her 1-year-old son. Whatever. And then she was later beheaded. 1847, Brigham Young and members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints arrived in Salt Lake City and said, "Hey, it's a miracle. We can float in water." I guess that's what they thought. I don't know. Whatever. They just found some water and said, "This is a good place. Can't drink the water, but what the hell?" 1827, Amelia Earhart was born. Happy birthday, Amelia Earhart. You don't know. She may still be alive. But if she was alive, she would be 129. She was born this day, 1897. 1911, led by local residents Hiram Bingham, reached Machu Picchu in a remote part of Peruvian Andes. Of course, Machu Picchu is an ancient Incan city. In the mountains, in the Andes Mountains, 1915. One of the worst maritime disasters in American history, the passenger liner SS Eastland capsized in the Chicago River. Yeah, we reported on this before, killing more than 840 people in Chicago. Capsize, not a good thing. You know what capsize means? It means the bottom is up and the up is down. 1923, the Treaty of Lausanne, the final treaty concluding World War I, was signed. 5 years after the war ended, they finally ended the war. So happy anniversary of that. 103 years ago. 1944, Soviet forces liberated the Majdanek concentration and extermination camp in the outskirts of the city of Lublin, Poland, where the Nazis decided they're going to kill people. 1945, Selma Brooks' bronze relief portrait of U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt was shown in public for the first time. The image of Roosevelt on the U.S. dime was released in 1946, resembles her sculpture, though the U.S. Mint denied that it had any influence. Well, they didn't want to pay her? What a bunch of assholes. 1959, so this is our subject of our mic drop. The guy was the shoe banger himself, Nikita Khrushchev, and U.S. Vice President Richard Nixon, who was merely a child at the time, engaged in the kitchen debate at an American exhibition in Moscow. Yeah, if you want to look at Richard Nixon when he was vice president, he wasn't that Watergate guy, and he was thinking, oh boy, I get to talk to the Russians. I'm going to show them a thing or two. So Nixon, basically just, it's an interesting little thing. 1969, American actress singer Jennifer Lopez was born. He's one of the highest paid Latina actresses in American history. J-Lo, happy birthday to J-Lo, turning 57 today. Is that even possible? 1998, World War II drama Saving Private Ryan premiered. Starring Tom Hanks, of course, earning 5 Academy Awards, including Best Director for Steven Spielberg. In 2005, American cyclist Lance Armstrong became the first rider to win the Tour de France 7 times. Of course, he cheated, so he got all those taken away from him. He was later stripped of all his titles after an investigation revealed that he was a key figure in a wide-ranging doping conspiracy. One of the biggest assholes in the history of being an asshole, Lance Armstrong, and the people who defended him to the very end. Well, I know everybody in cycling, entire everybody who's ever won anything in cycling has been suspended for blood doping. But Lance Armstrong couldn't be blood doping, not the guy that wins every single race, sir. And he pointed his finger at everybody and said, I am not using enhancing drugs. And of course he was the whole time. He was passing tests with the help of friends that he was paying off. 2013, American sex researcher and therapist Virginia E. Johnson, who was with William Masters, she died at the age of 88. William Masters and Johnson, the sex, what do you call it? Sex experts. Yeah, they wrote the book. They literally wrote the book on sex. Yes, they did. And 2020, American TV personality Regis Philbin died at the age of 88. You know, Regis Philbin. I don't know. I never watched the show. I didn't really know what the big deal with Regis Philbin was, but somehow he got to be a big TV personality. So there you go. I'm not exactly sure where he came from, but it's a New York thing I never understood. Just one day, Regis Philbin was on my TV. I just know that. Sometime in the 90s that happened, and he became famous. 2020, Elon Musk rebranded his Twitter as X. Who gives a shit about that guy? That's not worth knowing about. 1851 in this featured event. England abolished, this is the window tax that backfired. In this day in 1851, England abolished the despised window tax that had been in place since 1696 because it felt too personal to ask how much someone made. The government developed a tax system that included counting windows. More windows generally meant a larger, more expensive house, but that was not always true, especially in urban areas. People resorting to boarding up the windows and new construction lacked ventilation. Man, people are just weird. The government finally saw the light. Oh, there's a nice pun. And ended the tax. Right. Oh, it's a nice building, but no ventilation because we don't want to have windows because, we're going to pay tax. Boarding your windows, bricks in your windows, yeah. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. I'm singing because I accidentally closed the page and I'm waiting for it to reload. Let the sun shine. Our featured event, beginning of Mata Hari style. Dutch-born dancer and courtesan Mata Hari was a spy and became synonymous seductive female spy. When the trial was in, we were talking about how to get men with weaknesses to compromise themselves. Well, she was one of them. Accused of spying for Germany, was subsequently found guilty, and she was shot by a firing squad. Not a good way to go.
That's the risk. When you're a spy, you get killed for it, sadly.
It's Julie Crone's birthday today. She was born this day in 1963. American jockey turned 63. She was born in 63. American jockey Julie Crone was the first woman to win a U.S. Triple Crown race, capturing the Belmont Stakes in 1993. And in the 2003, she became the first woman to win a Breeders' Cup race. Again, she did not win the race. The horse she was riding won the race. She was not running around the track. Let's be clear about that.
She outrun a horse. It was amazing.
She is a tiny person that rides a horse. Yeah. And so our other birthdays today, we're going to all way back. Well, no, we start with the youngest first. So let's go back to the youngest first, which would be, let's see, is anybody under 35? I don't think so. Oh, here's somebody young that you should know. Bindi Irwin. You remember Bindi Irwin? Steve Irwin's daughter turning 28 today. Happy birthday to her. Actor Elizabeth Moss turning 44. Jennifer Lopez we covered. Here's a picture of actor-musician Kristen Chenoweth turning 58. Barry Bonds, the all-time home run leader in Major League Baseball, born in 1964. Happy birthday, Barry Bonds, turning 62. Karl Malone, one of the all-time scoring leaders in NBA history, turning 63. Shavkat Mirziyoyev, the president of Uzbekistan. I don't know if we want to celebrate him or not, but it's his birthday. Happy birthday to actress Linda Carter, who played Wonder Woman, and is turning 75 today. Actor Michael Richards Kramer from Seinfeld, turning 77. Gallagher, the comedian who smashed watermelons, along with his twin brother, who did his act also, born in 1946. One of them is dead. The other one is probably still. They might both be gone now. Chris Sarandon. I thought it said Susan Sarandon. Chris Sarandon was born in 1942, age 84 today. Don't know who that is, actually. Feminist, former U.S. Representative Paula Abzug from New York was born here in this 1920. Artist Stella Fitzgerald, 1900. She would be 126. Amelia Earhart, we covered. Writer Alexander Dumas, the Elder, in 1802. Is that the one who wrote Count of Monte Cristo? I'm not sure. Simon Bolivar, South American revolutionary, born in 1783, who is in a lot of South American money. So that's your birthdays today, national today. As we pull this train into the station, get your belongings, get your umbrellas, take your kids. There was a couple of kids in the train all weekend last weekend. They were very helpful. They did clean the train, but they did not know where the bathroom was. I think we locked the bathroom, so there was a lot of mess, let's just say. So get your kids off the train this time. We are not a daycare center. It's National Tequila Day, National Cousins Day, National Amelia Earhart Day for obvious reasons. He was born in this day. National Thermal Engineer Day, National Drive-Thru Day. And again, if you're too lazy to get out and get in the restaurant, stop it, will you, man? And I say that as I went to the drive-thru yesterday because, hey, who wants to get out of our air-conditioned car? So those are your days, your non sequiturs, your puns, your associations, your everything for today. July 24th, 2026. No food today? I'm before tequila? That's our only food. Well, get some drive-thru food, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why Tequila Day is in July. I would think it would be somewhere near more of a...
Is it? Well,
whatever.
Maybe, well, I guess here's your associate then. Maybe it's because it's hot, it's the summer, people go to Mexico. Where's that place in Mexico that's... People go for...
Tijuana?
Yeah, I guess people go to Tijuana, drink tequila. So there you go. That's what you should do this weekend. Fuck all your responsibilities. Head to Tijuana.
Well,
get some.
In Texas, you have a lot of options. In Texas, you have Matamoros all the way to Juarez.
Yeah,
you just cross the border.
I don't drink,
or
but
if you're in Arizona,
you
can go to Nogales.
Take this as a sign.
Or if you're in
Take this as a sign and go get drunk.
Or if you're in Southern California, you go to Tecate, which is right across the border.
Yeah, just go to Mexico specifically and spend your money in Mexico. Yeah, do that.
I've been to Tecate. It's out in the middle of nowhere on the border of California, but they have a brewery there. They make Tecate beer, and they had, back in the day, you could get a nickel beer at the Tecate brewery. Not the brewery. Anyway.
Get drunk, get crunk on some tequila.
Yeah. Well, Tecate isn't tequila, it was beer, but yeah.
I'm just saying. That's my associate. I don't have any. Let me see if there's any international days, actually, because there haven't been any all week, so I know there's going to be a billion on the weekend. That's what the UN likes to do to me. Yes, there is 3 international UN observances tomorrow, so not any today, but tomorrow. World Drowning Prevention Day. If you can't swim, learn to swim. I'm sure you can find lessons for very cheap, or even better, have a friend who already knows how to swim, they can teach you, okay? Prevent drowning, wear a life jacket if you don't know how to swim. It literally saves lives, okay? I don't care what you're doing. If you're walking in a puddle of water, life jacket. It's also International Day of Women's and Girls of African Descent. So are you from Africa? Are your people from Africa because your family was part of the global slave trade? And are you a woman? Are you a woman, then can celebrate yourself and celebrate all the African descent women around you.
On Life Jacket Day, why don't Dutch people wear life jackets, man? What's the deal?
International Day of Judicial Well-Being. I don't know what that means, so I'm going to look up what that means. Judges and other... so don't threaten any judges. They do. Most of them go to school to become judges. They are educated people.
Don't threaten any.
And and they are usually not. They're usually not upholding law as a personal vendetta. They're just upholding the law as their job. So respect judges and their judicial well-being, and make sure we continue supporting law and order, and not I don't like you, so we're going to put you in jail, which is what fascists do, by the way. They don't care about law and order. They just pretend they do by making up laws in order to keep order. So
we're not even charge you with anything. Just lock you up.
This has been Alison here from the Netherlands. Also, hello, Omlin. I didn't say hello to you. Thank you for your trans rights, Acorn. And this has been Alison here from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the US, as we are done with another week, our second to last week in July. I hope you have a good weekend, and remember, do not doom scroll, because we've got you covered on Mucking Fun Day on Monday. So have a good one. If you're not already following on Twitch, make sure to follow Before Coffee Podcast and subscribe to Before Coffee Podcast on YouTube so that that number can go up. We can spread our anti-AI news, because we are real people saying real stuff. No AI voices here. And thank you to all our Before Coffee supporters on Patreon. Here is our mic drop moment.
Takes a couple of seconds to load. I don't know if you got to
Our great kitchen argument.
We wish you success. You could show us American possibilities, and then we could say, here is what American possibilities are. How many years has America existed already? 300? 150 years of independence. Well then, we will say America has existed 150
years. This is 100 years ago.
And this is her level of achievement. We have existed not quite 42 years, and 7 years from now we will be on the same level of achievement as America. And the following years we shall continue to surge ahead. And when we shall overtake you at the crossroads, we will greet you amiably.
They changed. Soviet Union.
And after that, if you wish, we can stop and tell you, please follow us.
Nixon was only 46.
There must be a free exchange of ideas. There are some instances where you may be ahead of us. For example, in the development of the thrust of your rockets for the investigation of outer space. There may be some instances, for example, color television, where we're ahead of you. But in order for both of us,
in what are they ahead of us?
I mean, America was always ahead, I guess, in entertainment.
As well as in this technique. I do not capitulate.
Russia was ahead in space at this time, right?
Yeah. Of course, getting ahead in space was also just like a big pride thing. Yeah, it's just a pride thing. It wasn't. It's not really.
Was going to the moon. Just propaganda.
I mean, it helped invent a lot of new technology that we needed to develop for space. But
we needed to prove some theories that we actually did prove. So there you go.
Yeah, we had to prove we weren't just like a marble in a jar or something. You know.
It wasn't the Russian scientists or a bunch of bumbling idiots. They were just under a different regime that controlled all their fucking.
The moon is real, and it's not just a painting on a backdrop somewhere in the sky, you know? It's an actual real place.
Well, forget you can see the moon, maybe you can get a telescope and watch a missile crash.
Oh, yeah, the missile is crashing. That's true.
I don't know what the moon would be.
If I don't know everything, then I would say that you know absolutely nothing about communism, nothing except fear of it.
Yeah. Right, exactly. People that say
there's still people who fear it to this day.
What do you mean to you? You don't even know what it means.
That's why I want you, the Vice President, to give your word that my speech will be recorded in the English language.
Yeah.
telecast over TV.
I'm in control of my own language.
Certainly it will.
I mean, this is a slur.
Right. In fact, and with the same token, everything
Being
that I
scared of
say,
people because they want to be in a commune is such a...
and
Oh, they want to work
Socialism
together for
is-
all of humanity.
carried
Ah.
all over the Soviet
Socialism
Union.
is-
That's a fair bargain.
Different.
I feel
They're
like
getting along
people-
great. That's the diplomacy,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah. People can't do that anymore.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.